This is a call for vengeance. Welcome to today's show. I had to do a video on YouTube just to show you this because this is how wolves in sheep's clothing actually work. And the fact that we're even referring to someone like Kanye West or Kim Kardashian as wolves shows you just how dumb people are, because you shouldn't be deceived by people in Hollywood. You should be able to see right through it. So your discernment is either really, really off, or you're really under a hypnosis that I'm going to try to break you from. So if you haven't heard, Kanye West showed up somewhere and was photographed with a license plate that had the number 666 on it. And I'll get into it in 1 second, because I'm sure you're going to say, well, things like that actually happen. There are coincidences in the world. And I'll explain to you why it's not a coincidence, because there's a lot of piling up evidence against Kanye and Kim. And speaking of Kim, Kim was just promoted and announced as the new ambassador for Balenciaga. That's right, Balenciaga. You know, I covered Balenciaga once, and I lost a channel over it. And there's a lot of stuff that people should know about Balenciaga, not just, the supposed runway models and runway shoots and pocketbooks that they sell, but actually what they really do, because most fashion companies are fronts for this. And I have a video up on my website. If you're looking for the link, you can ask around and find the link, or you can look in the community tabs. If you haven't checked community tabs yet on YouTube, I post a lot of stuff there and then I remove it, because that's the way that I have to operate now. So for the time being, it is up over there if you're looking for my website. The video up on Kim Kardashian West is over there with all the things that'll make your stomach turn with Kim and Kanye and everybody else involved in Balenciaga. And I also want to remind everybody that I'm not fully returning here to YouTube. I usually do 2 to 3 videos a day until my other channels are built out. And I'm looking at other options like podcasting, etc. But the website is where I'm exclusively uploading every single day. So my other backup channels are linked below. And I do have one going up today about Club 33 and Disney. Actually, a walkthrough of Club 33 and Disney. So I recommend you subscribe as soon as you hear this, and you look out for that video, because it's pretty hilarious for anybody who hasn't seen inside Club 33. And of course, if you don't know what Club 33 is or what it's referencing, well, it's time to wake up, because you don't have to go too deep down the rabbit hole to figure out whose hands are involved in all this and how they've networked with one another in every town in this country and every town in every country around the earth to pretty much infiltrate all forms of government, etc. And that's why we're in the mess that we're in. I mean, their motto is order out of chaos, is it not? So 33, of course, referencing Freemasonry, Mr. D. Malay himself, Walt Disney, and Club 33. So that video's on the other channel going up. And of course, that channel, I'm just joking around about stuff for now, because I have to go through the YouTube review process. That's right, they make you go through a review process, and then when they check your channel and see if it's okay and fun, so if you talk about video games and stuff, then they approve you. And once they approve you, then new people can find your channel, because you'll be in the algorithm and you'll be promoted. So that's the process I have to go through. So don't mind the content over there. Just make sure you subscribe now if you want my content still here on YouTube. And again, this channel can be gone overnight, so you'll regret it if you don't do that now. So here's the story with Kanye West, okay? Kanye West is the ultimate wolf in sheep's clothing, right? Kanye West is somebody who over the years has given us his Kanye West Bible called Yeezus. He refers to himself as Yeezus. We've seen him wear crowns of thorns. We've seen Kanye West even have songs about being a wolf in sheep's clothing, yet people continue to worship people like Kanye West because they like the beat of his frequency that he's using on his audience. Okay, here's another example of how they do this stuff right in front of our faces, and people make excuses for him because they know that they could do stuff like this, and the people who worship them and still think that they're Christians. And remember, Kanye West has a ministry now, and he's even walked on water before with Joel Osteen, which says all you need to actually hear. So people see this, and they say, he has a 666 on his license plate, but you can't control your license plate. Well, let's start there, right? Most celebrities have custom plates and are well aware of what their licenses are. But if you want to give them a pass on that, that's fine. Go ahead. Now, there's obvious coincidences and things that happen that you can't avoid in life, right? Like I've had people before who have commented on my channel when I've had 666 likes. And they've said something like, I can't watch any more of your videos. You have 666 likes and it's been stuck on it for a minute. You're clearly one of them. You know, we're talking borderline Looney Tunes type of stuff because, obviously if I could reach out to YouTube, and I mean, I'd love to reach out to them or reach my, hands around their throats. But if I could reach out to them and I could say, hey, can I skip 665 and go to 667? Is there a way for me to do that? Then I would. Just like I would also avoid the number 33. I mean, if I could in life, if I could have actually gone around being the age 33, then I would have. Like we always hear people with 33, like this person's 33, they're clearly a Freemason. It's like, wait a minute, is there something in place where we could go from 32 to 34? Oh, clearly not. I mean, some people have specific birth dates as well. I mean, are we really going to get on somebody if they were born on 6606 and say that they're the Antichrist? I mean, things are actually going to happen. Now, if it's a prominent person, maybe we should be suspicious that it was the birth of the Antichrist on that specific day. That's understandable, but we can't go too crazy about too many things. This right here, people will defend it. Okay, they will. But there are things that aren't coincidences. Like, for example, when Adele turned 33, and I covered that, Adele got a tattoo of Saturn on her body. And everyone was like, oh, wow, what'd you do for your 33rd birthday? She's like, I got Saturn tattooed on me. And people are like, that's cool. Saturn, the planet, as if, she's looking up, she's gazing with a telescope, and she's obsessed with Saturn. Saturn, of course, is referencing Satan. Saturnalia. We all see Saturn all over the place, from the logo of Nike to celebrities like Beyonce even wearing them on their earrings. And nobody thinks any further than that. And occult worship is really what it's all about, right? So in this situation, right, you would think if Kanye West, is a ministry, he's a man of God, like he preaches to everybody, that if he was given a license plate of 666, that he would immediately go back inside. For starters, he'd say, I'm Kanye West, okay? And they probably go, whatever you want, Mr. West, because most of these people fall at the ground of these idols, these false idols here on earth, right? Secondly, you would think he'd be, smart enough to realize that, right? That's like saying, if Joel Osteen got a license plate of 666, don't you think he'd go inside and get it changed? But things are so right in our faces. These people can flaunt this stuff, and they know that their audience will defend it. Kanye West, Christians out there love when these people come out and act as if they're Christian, because they feel like they're one of them. They're like, yes, someone, and I like their music, so now I have a reason, so I can listen to Kanye West rap about doing drugs, doing stuff with girls, all sorts of disgusting things. I can listen to him do it because he claims to be Christian. So he's clearly a Christian, I'm a Christian. So, I'm not going to judge him. The Bible says don't. And they pretty much do this stuff so they could defend their own false idols, right? So he's clearly doing this, knowing that it was going to be reported upon. Look at all the paparazzi. He took pictures of his license plate. Has this ever happened? Celebrities go all over the place all the time. Do they not? Okay? And paparazzi's usually everywhere. So this happens very often. So clearly this was staged so that he could show you his license plate with 666 on it, right? And they blur the rest of it out. And Kanye doesn't care because he could go, oh, what's the big deal? It's just a coincidence. They gave me the number. I could change it or whatever. And people still won't realize this is how these people reveal themselves, okay? How many times have I told you that, Confucius, signs and symbols rule the world, right? These numbers, these signs that they use, they expose themselves to you and tell you who they are. Your brain has just been taught to think differently than that. You don't pick up symbols. You don't pick up signs that are around us all the time. All you have to do is step back and look at logos. How many of them have pentagrams in them? How many of them have spirals in them? Lots of meaning to the spiral, which I've exposed many times on the website, and many times I used to expose it here, right? A lot of people just think the spiral has to do with your preference towards youngsters. Also has to do with witchcraft, which is why they show the spiral when they go, you're getting sleepy and it's hypnosis. It's a sigil in witchcraft. Okay, so all of this stuff stems from all the things that we think are normal and they're just logos and they're just signs. Everyone just dismisses it all because it's too hard for them to wrap their heads around it. These people always reveal themselves. So Kanye West having 666 in his license plate, people are so dumb that they still would show up and they would still go to his concerts and be like, he's a Christian. They'd still go to his church because they want to believe that these people are one of them. That's idol worship. And believe it or not, what's just as frightening is that I've actually run into Christians. I've talked to Christians in my real life, okay? Not online, not talking about, stuff that is considered conspiracy. And I've talked to Christians and I talk about the same stuff, okay? And I've talked to Christians who go to church every week and have gone to church every week for years. And they don't even know what the mark of the beast is. Now, I'm not talking about knowing as far as what you could expect it to be when we talk about transhumanism. Other people talk about Sunday law. A lot of people trying to figure out. I'm not talking about that. They've never heard of the mark of the beast. They don't even know what 666 is. So these things are right in front of us, right? I say to them, have you ever read the book of Revelation? They say no, because the church doesn't read it. But the book of Revelation in chapter 13, verse 18, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Not to mention, I've talked about the numbers and carbon over the years and graphene and all that stuff that has to do with the outbreak that just occurred. Again, I can't talk about it here. You're just not allowed to reveal the truth. But I wanted to do this video so you could see just what we're dealing with, right? These celebrities are not doing this stuff to troll. Feeble minds automatically revert and go backwards as far as, they continue to think like children. Is what really happens. So when they see stuff like this and they hear me call it out, their brain just goes backwards, right? It's basic psychology, by the way. People, regress, and humans are continuing to regress because of what they're doing. They know this by design. They're trying to take adults and turn them into kids again. Have you noticed, right? How much they push adults doing things that are childish, collecting the toys they grew up. All of this stuff is done by design. And this is all out of the Communist Manifesto. It's out of their playbook on how to weaken men, empower women, destroy households, and then eventually conquer, because men aren't being men. Men are busy regressing. Psychology tells us this, that when men regress, they do childlike things, right? So men are regressing in this world. So my point being is that when people see stuff like this, they automatically will just say it's trolling, like a 5-year-old would say, instead of going, oh, you know what? There's something to this. I mean, Kanye West literally does all of these Donda events, which are all on my website as well, where he goes out there and he pretends that he's a Christian, he has a church. Then he has Marilyn Manson out there, okay, right next to him. And people are like, oh, Marilyn Manson must have changed his ways. Huh? Marilyn Manson just was recently talking about creating a Tinder for kids, which I've exposed many times over. I mean, Marilyn Manson literally calls himself the Antichrist. And like, yeah, it's just a show, man. I mean, how many excuses do we need to make up for these people? God doesn't say, hey, you really have to do deep dives into their lives to figure out who these people are. They reveal themselves. The Bible even tells us these people reveal themselves. They always do. But feeble minds continue to regress. So people see Kanye West with a 666 license plate, and they'll just say, well, the DMV gave it to him. Oh, they gave it to him. Okay, well, I'll tell you right now, I'm not a minister. Okay, I don't know what I am. I just try to help people out and make YouTube videos at this point. But hopefully sooner than later, I'm doing this elsewhere and I'm, getting to more people, because this whole platform is just ridiculous, but I'm trying my best. Okay. But anyway, my point is that I'm not a minister. Kanye West claims to, have his own church. But if I got a new license plate for whatever reason, and it was 666, and I saw it, I wouldn't even leave the DMV. I would walk back in and say, I do not want to be signed. I wouldn't care if I know, and I hate waiting, okay? I don't have patience to wait in lines and things like that. I would wait there for hours, because I would not leave there with a license plate on my vehicle that had 666 on it, okay? Not because people would see it and go, oh, look, that guy at Call has 666 the same way I'm doing to Kanye. Because if anyone did, I would expect them to call me out. But I would never leave the place, because if I saw it, I would never leave there with it, because I'd say, I don't want that as my freaking license plate. And what if somebody did see me with it? They would invalidate all the stuff I talk about. I'd expect them to call me out for it, right? But when it's Kanye West, oh, he just got the license plate. Because guess what? Kanye West, he had to go to the DMV. You have to go there. You can't use like a chauffeur to go do it for you. You have to go to the DMV with your license and take your picture and all that stuff. Even though these people are above the law, I mean, maybe they don't. I don't know. But, he had to get it, and somebody had to point it out to him. What do you think? He's just obliviously walking around with a 666 light? Like, he didn't once look at his car and see it? Anytime I see a pyramid, it sticks out. An eyeball, it sticks out. A 666 would certainly stick out, especially if it was on something in my home. It's the same as saying you have a shirt with 666 on it, you're wearing it. You're like, oh, I didn't even notice. It just says 666 in giant letters, right? This is them revealing themselves to everyone, and they can get away with it because everybody's so dumbed down. And if humans continue to regress, the stuff they do in the open is just going to continue to get more wicked and more in our faces. And it is, because we see what they're trying to normalize with children, right? So Kanye West with 666 on his license plate, don't be suspicious, folks. You're a conspiracy nut if you think so. So I want to just point out again, I just covered Kim Kardashian over on the website with Balenciaga. and that whole psyop that they're doing, not the Balenciaga part of it, but with Kanye and Kim, they try to position them as conservatives and position them as Christians. And it couldn't be further from the truth. But there's obviously, these people are agents. That's what they are. You might look at Kanye, you might say, it's not the real Kanye anymore, it's a clone. Well, that just would prove he's an agent, right? Why would they clone just some random person for no reason or some musician for no reason unless they served a purpose to them? Their purpose is to influence and engineer, social engineering. Again, I'm going to do a walkthrough on Club 33 on my other channel, so subscribe now if you haven't yet. Both those channels, well, I need your help in building them out. So please, if you haven't subscribed yet, take the time, do me that favor, and sub, and I'll keep you posted on my status as to where I'm uploading and when, and if I am going to continue full-time here on YouTube, I will let you know in the future. But definitely do me a favor, sub to those channels now. And if you're looking for the website, ask around, because I can't say it in the video, because if it gets flagged, the channel's bye-bye. Thanks again, everybody. Hope you're well. God bless you as always, and your families.